So open up Keynote, and if you don't see the theme chooser, just choose from the File menu, New from Theme Chooser. And for the purposes of what we're doing here, a black background is just fine. You can see I've already got it chosen. What's really important here though is that you choose the correct slide size, and it needs to be the highest definition possible. So I'm going to choose here 1920 by 1080. Okay, and I've done that, so I'm going to click choose. All the text boxes that come up you're going to need to delete, and you're only going to need one slide for this exercise. So first you need to decide what you're going to show with your graphics. I'm going to show a chart of teenage smokers in the UK. To do that, go up to the Charts menu, and I'm going to choose the 3D chart, and you can see I've got these wooden blocks. Let's move that around so that it's in the correct position. So to enter the data, you use the Chart Data Editor, and you edit the actual chart itself using the Chart tab in the inspector. So now I've set up this graph showing smoking habits among students in UK schools. So what I want to do now is I want to edit the way that this is animated so that it looks good when I bring it into my documentary. So the first thing I need to do is select the graph itself, and automatically the inspector pops up onto the graph editor. It's not what I want right now. What I need to go is to the build inspector. That's this one with it's kind of a little yellow diamond. And this is going to allow me to work out how I want to control the animation here. So I want to set these columns to look like they're growing up out of the bottom of the graph. So from the Effects drop-down menu, I'm going to choose Wipe. That's right at the bottom here. And you can see in the little previewer here that you can see my animation wipes from the left to the right. So what I want to do now is set it so it looks like the columns are growing upwards. So I'm going to set my direction of my wipe from bottom to top. Now you can see in the animation that the columns actually grow upwards. However, there's still a problem. If I click again, you'll see that the actual graph itself animates as well as the columns. Now I want the graph to already be there when I see this graphic. So the way to do that is to go down here to the delivery part of the inspector. I'm going to choose that the data should be presented by series. So what's going to happen now then is first the boys and then the girls is going to appear. That looks better. However, I still have the problem that the graph is also appearing in the animation. To stop the background being animated, I need to choose that the build is going to be from not the first but the second item to the last. Okay, so now the first item, which if you look closely at this animation was the actual graph, no longer is animated. Let me click again. Now you can see it's the graph completely still and unanimated, and then the two sets of data are animated one after the other. Alright, so the final thing I need to do is I need to set the timing and order for each build. So I'm going to click here. What's represented here in this list is Series 1, which is the girls, and then Series 2, which is the boys. Now if I click one of them, you'll see down the bottom that this drop-down menu activates, and it gives me the chance to set how the build starts. Now, because we're going to use this as a movie, we don't want anybody to have to click to make it start. So I'm going to choose automatically after transition. What that means is that as soon as the slide appears, the first data series will be animated. Now I want that to be a little bit delayed, so I'm going to increase the delay here, and I'm going to choose 5 seconds. That means that after the slide appears, there'll be a 5-second delay, and then the first data set will appear. Now I'm going to select the second data set, and again I want it to build automatically after the build before that, but with a delay. So I want 5 seconds again. So if I now click my preview, what happens is that after 5 seconds the first data set appears, and then a little bit later the second data set appears. That is how I want it to look. So let's just check by clicking the play button up here and see how the thing looks. Okay, there's the first data set appearing, and after another 5 seconds we should see the next data set appearing, which is exactly what we need.